Okay, so this is the Voodoo Labs Pedal Power 2 Plus. I couldn't find all the information I wanted about this unit in one place when I was thinking about buying it, so hopefully this video will help out someone in a similar situation. I've not had this for very long, so I can't review it as such. This is more of a look at the features and a general sort of first impression. So this comes with a good selection of barrel connectors. You get 6 of the right angle to right angle ones. You get 2 of the right angle to straight. There's one which has a red tip at the end. I believe this is for line 6, but I could be mistaken. There's another one which is for vintage MXR or electro harmonics, so you can see it's got the mini plug there. And finally you get one with a battery snap, which is a pretty cool idea. So basically, if you've got a pedal that can only be powered by battery, you can still plug it into the unit. So basically, this can power 8 Boss style 9V pedals, your kind of standard effects, using these along the front. There's a few more options, so if we turn it around, hopefully you can see there's switches here and a word that says normal. So if you flick them away, what you're doing is effectively changing the voltage that's delivered to each of these outputs. Now what happens is that outputs 1 to 4 become 12.3 volts, 60 milliamps. 5 to 6 that becomes 12 volts to 14 volts, and that's 200 milliamps to 50 milliamps. I believe that's unregulated. And then outputs 8 and 7 can be adjusted with these little dials here, which they've called the sag control. The idea behind this is that you can go from 4 to 9 volts, so if you put it down at 4, it'll simulate a kind of dying 9V battery. There seems to be some people like this sound. I think there's certain pedals kind of benefit from having a bit of a kind of gruffer sound. I've not really experimented with that yet, so I can't make any real comment on it. So you can also use these normal switches if you flick them away in combination. So for example, you could have 1 and 2 with a kind of Y lead together going into the pedal, so you could get either 18 or 24 volts. I believe this can be used to power things like Eventide pedals, although I should point out the connector for that doesn't actually come as standard, you have to buy that separately. Then there's the courtesy outlet. It states very clearly not to plug your amp into here, so I just wouldn't do that. The other thing to check is make sure you get one for your country, otherwise you're going to need to put in all sorts of adapters, and unless you're confident with electronics or like that sort of thing, it's probably going to get unnecessarily messy. This is what really sold it for me in the end, because my Digitech Whammy pedal runs on AC rather than DC, so I couldn't power it along the front, but I can with this. Another thing you could use it for is maybe the Blackstar valve range, because I think those are 18 or maybe 19 or 22 volts, so again that's kind of not a standard. You do need an adapter which doesn't come with it, which is a little bit annoying, but for about £7 you can pick up something like this. So you can see it's just a standard IEC to plug, so you can probably work out this goes into there, and you can plug your dedicated power supply into this. And you can also get a power strip version of this, so you can have more than one socket. I've not done this myself, so I don't know if the sound is at all compromised. All the outputs are isolated, so it's nice and quiet. The way they describe it is that it eliminates the tone robbing interaction between units, which is maybe a bit melodramatic, but nonetheless quite accurate. It's got a balance transformer, which helps reduce kind of buzz, and I've noticed some of my noisier pedals behave themselves a bit more when they're plugged into this. The manual's concise and really quite easy to follow. I'll put a link to that in the description. I mean, as you can see, this is a pretty small, compact unit. It's also quite sturdy. I've gigged it a few times, and overall it's made a really good first impression. It's maybe a bit expensive, but if you think about it, if you're using maybe 6 or 8 pedals, by the time you get a good power supply for each of those, and inevitably that power supply is going to break over the course of maybe kind of 3 years, you're probably going to spend quite a lot of money on it. That was the logic I used anyway, so I'd see it as a kind of longer term investment. Anyway, I hope this has been informative for anyone who's interested in the unit. If you've got any questions, pop them in the comments, or you can contact Voodoo Labs because they seem to be pretty good at kind of answering forums and getting back to people.